I guess down payment, or yeah, towards the equity line.
Okay, got it.
And then it wouldn't necessarily have to be as high as 10% of the balance, but we can negotiate that if you'd like to come up with a figure for that. We'll look at what you propose.
Okay, understood. Okay, so we're about to go eat dinner, and then when we get home, I'll just run my underwriting at the numbers you're talking about and see what I can come up with, and I'll probably send it in the morning, okay?
So let's say yep. You walk away. Let's say you don't walk away. Let's say you stop paying. What happens?
Got it. So we're gonna service the loan, right? We're gonna service every piece of it. The mortgage, we're gonna service, and I mean, I'm gonna hire a loan servicer to help me make all the payments, right? Mm-hmm. And we're gonna get to day 15, and all the alarms are gonna go off. It's gonna say Myron's not making his payments. They're sending us emails, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to day 31 of Myron not paying. Mm-hmm. Day of 31 that I'm not paying, we are gonna preemptively sign a performance deed. So let's say we close this contract on the closing date, the seller's gonna sign this deed, and I'm gonna sign a deed that only performs if I don't pay. And that would mean that the deed would go back to him. So I would lose all of my down payment, the commission to you, any improvements I've made, anything, I lose it. Nothing gets refunded. Just the deed goes back.
Okay.
And that's called a performance deed.
Okay.
The title company would draft that for us.
How do I remove you? How long does that take? How long can you squat for? How do you get removed?
There won't be any squatting laws because I'm not a tenant in any way. We don't have, how can I say that? I don't have tenant rights. I don't have tenant rights. So once the deed is back, I'm out. So
how long does it take to get the deed back? That's day 31 or that's day 60?
No, it's day 31. Well, it would be like, hey, 31 days. You'll call the title company. I can't get a hold of Myron, all this stuff. So then they execute, and so they would then record. So maybe less than a week to record a deed.
A business week of getting the task done of recording.
Yeah, and that's it.
And then I show up a police officer, and you're in my house, and I go, here's my deed, and you have nothing you can produce. I go, this guy's broke into my house, and I remove you like a trespass, right?
Yep. Which
there's no great.
I don't think it's going to happen between us, but I understand all of your questions and why you're asking. So yeah, if that would happen, you trespass me. Huh?
I mean, all the warm and fuzzy up front, all that aside, you know, of like when we're all in love and doing a deal, but you know, what happens if you know,
worse turns worse. Yeah.
Worse. So like trying to understand that, and that's why I want to see the contract to understand that part. So that's, you know, why I'm just, obviously that's not in the LOI.
Yes.
So trying to understand how that's recorded without knowing as much about this specific transaction. So, okay.
Okay, I'm with you. So I'm going to put together, are we at a point where you want to see a contract? You may put together, or are we still negotiating on terms?
I think the terms are close. If you're closer to that 10%, he needs 10% or more to really make this make sense to him. He's not super keen on it. We've got, you know, other leads that he wants to see come to fruition. So the more appealing you can make that number, the better. So that he's less apt to want to do these other options. And then that would be number one. would be number one. And then, you know, quickness to close, and then he's in mortgage, so he's very, very smart. He's been in mortgage for a long time, and so, you know, he wants to meet in potatoes. He's prepared to coordinate with his people, and he's starting to make calls now around this to get more interest. So he is building interest around your piece over some of the other deals, as I'm you know, getting you guys closer to the numbers that make sense for both of you.
Got
so so that it's my understanding, and I'm representing you as the realtor, so I'm doing both sides.
No, I'm gonna put your 3% on my side, so he's not paying any commission.
Okay, because our commission is more than 3%.
So you have a 6% agreement with him,
right?
And if I brought a buyer's agent, what do they get?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. But if I'm representing both sides, if I'm writing the contract and I'm representing you, like, you don't have representation, or are you a realtor waiving your own commission? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay, got it. So I'll answer it 2 ways. I'm not a realtor. My offer is to put his 3% on my side, so he's not paying any commissions at all.
Okay.
And if we want to play, like, you want 6%, I can play that as well. Is your brokerage able to do dual?
Yes, so we do dual. I basically own the brokerage, and then I employ a broker.
Okay. I can work.
We do that.
I
mean, I could go down to 4%. I'd be happy at 4%. I don't have to have the full 6%, but I'm trying to understand who all I'm representing because of my E&O and the money I have to, you know.
So if that gives me a leg up, I'll go to 4%.
Okay. So that would be my preference there on how we're representing it, just in case this goes wrong, because it's on me. Keep that money around in case something goes wrong and I need my E&O to come into play. So,
I got you.
You know?
I got you.
So that would be my reasoning for that.
So, okay. If you, in your brokerage, you have some listings that are hard to move, or I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying if something's sitting around where maybe it's higher equity, we're doing seller finance as well. We can do bigger down payments. But our main goal is to look for Airbnb potential, and also 30-day rental potential, like nurse.
So I have a this is funny because I was thinking about listing my property. I have a 4-bedroom Airbnb that I don't live in, and I'm trying to buy a rental. So what I don't know is how this burdens my finances. If we did a deal like this on my house, what would that look like? Would I be able to then finance something else, or still be carried like a second?
Got it. So you have a mortgage on your Airbnb.
Yep.
I'm going to service the loan. Once we service the loan after 3 months, your debt to income, once we prove that to if you go get a new loan, we service the loan for 3 months. 75% of the debt, the DTI, comes off of you.
Okay.
Because you're showing history. And once we make it to 12 months, 100% of that DTI comes off. Because it's showing like a lot of history, right?
Right.
So all in all, like if you try to go do something day one, it's still there. But if you gave it the DTI is still sitting there on that mortgage after, day one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So it's Airbnb-able because it's a homestead in Austin, Texas. Are you familiar with the Airbnb laws in Austin?
No, but I will be. So if it's investment...
I'm 10 years of my business, so this is exactly what we do as Airbnbs. And they basically, in order to have a property, you either have to be in multifamily,
okay, or
zoned specifically, and there's very few commercial zonings, and I've been looking for them. I can tell you they don't exist, and there's not one available on the market. And I've I've definitely been digging. The commercial zoning to be able to put an Airbnb in a property is very, very hard to come by. They basically don't exist. In terms of what's zoned for that. I've got one identified townhome area, and these guys are not parting with their pieces. And it's a bunch of partners. A lot of them would have to die in a plane or something.
She's been thinking about this. Okay.
Oh, it's all I do. So multifamily, there's about, I don't know, there's one building in particular that you could do it in. It's called Nativo. They sell, for about starting around 600 to 800, and then go up from there. And then single family homes. But the only way to do your single family home is having a homestead.
I see.
So I live between my homestead 50% of the time, and I rent it out 50% of the time.
Got it.
And then I have a rental that I'm trying to buy. So that's the only way you can do it. It's literally the only way you can do a house. So
that's a pain in the butt. Okay.
It's very regulated here. So if you were to do that deal with me, would I retain the homestead and all that so that Airbnb capability would remain?
Could I? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think it's titled that way, is it?
No. What about 30-day leases?
Yes. So that's definitely doable. And I'm selling my property furnished. It's got a bunch of nice furniture in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 30 days, it's right by the college community. So, I just don't do it because it's lucrative, but there's definitely a market for that.
Would it cash flow based on your mortgage and equity that you want? Or is it going to be too tight, do you think?
It's tight, but it's cash flow. But I'm not, I'm at a more reasonable rate than my partner, than my client. Not to say I would do a deal instead of doing his deal. I don't want to make it sound like I'm pitching you to not do his. Yeah, okay. I can do no, I'm at 820 to somewhere in there. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, we can, if you want to send me the address, we can take a look at it. If you have a couple pictures, or I could probably find it on Airbnb, but
my website. Yeah, it's on my website. I'll just send you a link.
Okay. And then what was I gonna say? Multifamily, we're kind of starting in that. We have 70 units so far, multifamily, and we'll have another contract for another 40 this week or next week now. So we're looking for multifamily as well.
Where's your multifamily located?
We have 30 in Corpus Christi. We're gonna do half Airbnb and half long-term.
Smoky Rose, babe.
Oh. Are you looking for any furniture that can help?
We're not ready yet on that one. It'll probably be 8 months.
What about you're running my program in your place while you consider it? You're the owner of the multifamily?
Yes, I'm sorry. What did you say?
I've got 25 units in storage right now from COVID.
Got it.
That I'm looking to deploy in a multifamily. And I have to leave Austin because it's very hard to find multifamily that allows it. But there's multiple owners of the multifamily and that kind of stuff. So if you had areas that you desired to do it in and you wanted to see how it worked and operated, I could come in, run my program. We can make a deal happen. I'll have somewhere to put the furniture and make some revenue with the furniture again. I get it out of storage.
Got it. Totally get it.
I'm looking at other cities right now, so I'm just looking at other cities and ink spotting and going out of Austin because of the regulations here.
Yeah. So we're looking a little bit at Houston, San Antonio, Corpus Christi. I know Corpus Christi is gonna turn into Airbnb. We're just not there yet. We're a few months away. So if you're still, we're still probably 6 months out from getting ready to put Airbnb in those units. It's a heavier lift on rehab. So,
okay.
once we get ready, I can reach out, talk to you about that.
Cool.
We'll probably, in the next 6 months, we'll probably buy 4 more multifamily properties. But anyways, if you come across any, I'm sure you'll scoop it up, but if you need partners, we're ready. Something in Austin, we would love to do multifamily in Austin, but I'm sure everybody's just holding
single
on.
Units? Are you talking single units or full buildings?
16 units and up, we'll be interested in.
Okay.
Not so much.
There's a few that.
Okay.
But the nice thing about the zoning on the multifamily is you'd automatically be able to do a 16 or more in Airbnb. So you'd be able to run a program there legally in the city. So it'd behoove you to do that rather than single family homes.
Love it. So if you have a lead, I'd love to talk with them. Or you talk with them, however you want to work. You're a broker.
Sure. We do commercial. I do everything. I'm like I said, the owner of the firm. I'm an architect, interior designer, and real estate agent. So I kind of do a lot of stuff, but a lot of what I do is like design build. I designed all my units, and we do the Airbnbs and VRBOs, and we have our own website. We manage properties, and we're, what we don't do is a really short list. What I've been looking at doing with the furniture is staging, but I don't want to get in the moving business.
Yeah.
That's just the furniture moving
No, let's get
business.
a multifamily and put it in there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be interesting carrying up on that. Well, let's keep these conversations going.
Awesome.
Let me see. Was I supposed to get anything for you? No, I'm waiting on you now. Okay.
Nope, you're waiting on me, so we're about 2 minutes away from
and I'll
our
have
place.
that mortgage.
Yes.
We're firming up the mortgage number and mortgage interest rate. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I'll start putting something together, and you'll have it tomorrow morning. Okay.
Okay, sounds great. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
No problem. Bye.
What a badass.
Do not say that. Do not say that.
Your dad
Really
is so
do not
cool.
say that.
Your dad is an agent whisperer.
That was pretty good.
That was a pretty dang good call.
Even if that little Seguin thing doesn't work out,